And here we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Christian Harris here of Move Fast, Lift Heavy, owner, founder, all the good stuff. Train with CH, Move Fast, Lift Heavy. We've got clothing, we've got programming, we've got brick and mortar facilities, and we've got so much more at movefastlift.heavy.com. Here today, we've got Joey Loverboy Roscoe in the building.
The one and only. Oh,
And we've got a special guest joining us today. Former teammate, good friend of mine. I think you guys remember the Ramwad Meat Squad. She was our little meatball. But now she's on the opposing Move Fast Lift Heavy squad. She's a part of 365. Welcome to the podcast, Brooke Haas.
What's up?
let's go, Brookie.
Brooke Haas, the little saucy meatball. What's up, guys?
Welcome to the podcast, Brooke. Good to have you.
So glad to be on here with you guys.
So you're just getting into New York here, right?
I am. I flew out of nice, warm, sunny weather to come up here to a 40-degree temperature change at 6 o'clock in the morning and landed, unpacked my bags, and I'm heading to train with my other partner for our little Friday session.
Beautiful.
Can I just say, as an outside perspective, I can remember Wadapalooza, and you all like 8 of you were like in a circle, index finger and thumbs together, kumbayaing, loving each other, and now all of a sudden there's like, yo, we're here to mess you up, like we're here.
Oh yeah.
we're here to throw it down. I'm thinking like, yo, team MFLH, all for one and one for all. No.
Oh, no. I think Christian knew that putting me on this team. I'm like, looking back at my teammates, I'm like, they're like, no, we're just doing this for like, to get touches. I'm like, I'm doing this to win. Like, I hate losing.
Wait, okay, so get into that. How, like, you grew up that way? You played sports growing up? When did you become a competitive savage?
Yeah, I mean, like from inception, I think. My father kind of just instilled that in me. He was in the military growing up, always had me active doing sports and such growing up as a young kid. I did ball sports mainly, so a lot of team stuff. I dabbled in some cross country, not really sure why. I thought it would keep me like endurancely fit, like endurance wise, like fit for soccer and basketball, but definitely not like an individual athlete. I'm definitely more of a team minded and likable teammates, and that's kind of what I shoot for when anytime that I compete. Obviously I've done some individual stuff in the back in the past, but yeah, growing up it was mainly softball, and then I got into some professional rugby. I tore my ACL playing rugby in 2014. That's kind of how I found CrossFit, and then I've kind of never looked back. And since then, a lot of team stuff, a lot of individual stuff. Obviously, most recently has been the team with Move Fast, Lift Heavy, and the two teams that we're going through for this upcoming season.
Yeah. Just to give you guys a little backstory, when I first came across Brooke, I was going to the MAC, and this was when there was that weird 2-year interim period of sanctionals. So I was getting ready to go to the MAC, and it's the day before competition, and I'm just kind of like in the gym, just maybe moving around, getting a little sweat in, and just trying to shake off the travel legs. And then I see this young woman of a specimen getting after this workout. It seemed to me like it was like that open workout with the cleans and the toe to bar and the double unders. I just remember there being a lot of squat cleans, and I'm like, yo, this chick is getting it right now. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a chick move a barbell like this before. So whatever, she finishes the workout. I'm like, damn, she just crushed whatever she was doing. And then I go to the venue and, we're doing like athlete check-ins and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wait, what? Weren't you just crushing yourself before? And she's here to compete for this entire weekend? What the fuck is going on right now? That was like my first introduction to who Brooke was. And
yeah, that was when qualifiers were life. I was actually doing a Granite Games qualifier that year to compete individually. And at the MAC that year, we were trying to qualify as a team for the games. And I just that was the time frame I had. Like, I knew I could only do it on that Thursday because it got released. And then it was like, do I really want to do this on Sunday after smashing myself? And I was like, whatever. Obviously, that's a great workout for me. Squat, clean, toe to bar, double under. I got second in the world in that workout for the CrossFit Games one. So I knew it was going to be like, whatever, we'll just do it. It'll be fine. But yeah, it was actually heavier than the CrossFit Games workout. Shout out Granite Games. Thanks for throwing me a little token on that one. But yeah. I was like, that was back when I was like young and dumb, right? Like, just work out hard all the time. It's totally fine. Now I'm like, don't even think about it.
Got it. So you all were on a team. Tell me about was Christian the weakest link on your team, Brooke? Like, how was that being on Christian's team?
No, definitely not. We have our funny stories. Like, everybody had their weaknesses, right? So we went to Dublin. We went to the French Throwdown. That was our first time that we went as a team, and literally had never we met each other and did one little light hey, meeting each other type of practice. And then we went to France and we're like, yeah, whatever, let's just go eat some croissants and do some chest to bars. It'll be fine. And it went phenomenally. And that was the year that we had Dex and Kelly. So it was just this hodgepodge team. We were supposed to originally have Chandler Smith because Dex knew him. It was this weird blend up. And then Chandler cut his finger off. I don't know. He had to go overseas or something. So Dex was like, I got another guy. And he was like, Christian. I was like, oh, and I remembered Christian from MAC, being in the gym. And obviously knew him from kind of just competition and being around and such. So I was like, I think we'll be fine. You guys are both tall. We're both short little meatballs. So I don't know how the worm stuff is going to work out, but it worked out really great. We all synced up pretty well. And it was just this unspoken vibe that we had. Everything just meshed really well. And if you've ever done team stuff, if you have that where it's wow, all those reps felt like we were a team and in sync, that's what it felt like the whole time for us. We didn't really bicker. We kind of knew weaknesses, strengths, and all of that. I would say gymnastically wise, Kelly that year was probably lacking just a little bit with the higher sets. We could all do probably 15 to 20 ring muscle ups, and she was more towards maxing out at 10. Shout out Kelly, you're crushing it now though. So she's filled those gaps. So I would say there was that. And then Christian on some worm burpees. That was a little issue for him.
I love how I was just straight up joking, being my normal
oh no, I like to
and Brooke's let me actually analyze our performance and throw Christian under the bus on a
oh, go back and watch.
There's a video floating around there somewhere.
Oh yeah, the video is floating around there. They're at Dex can't fucking swim or whatever, so he was drifting ashore when we had the surf thing, and then running was definitely not a forte for mine. So we all had our little holes, and we kind of outs ourselves hey, this is what I can do, and this is what I expect myself to do, and we never let into being able to do any more than that. So I think that's kind of why it blended really well. And then we went to Dublin, and in Dublin, same thing, didn't really do a lot of practice together. We flew up, did some stuff, but not you see teams doing now where it's week long, meetups or actually living together preseason. This was just hey, let's get together, do a little better than we did last time and see what happens. We definitely went in walking in thinking that we were going to qualify, and the first event slapped us in the face pretty hard. It was definitely over-programmed workout, but we also I think we finished 18th or 19th. We kind of looked at each other. We're oh shit, maybe we aren't going to qualify. But then the rest of the weekend was great for us. Once we got to touch the worm and the barbell and stuff like that, it was really good. So yeah, that season we qualified, and then as everybody knows, COVID happened and whatnot, so we never actually got to go to Madison. all 4 of us, but now we're somehow back together, just a little bit different.
A little different.
Yeah.
A little different. Kelly's doing the indie thing, and then we've rejoined, but on separate teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun having the 2 teams, the camaraderie aspect of it, especially the times that we do get to train together. So I'm really looking forward to this upcoming week for quarterfinals.
Yeah, this upcoming week's going to be great, I think. And that was one of the main reasons, like, why, like, you know, in speaking about this season, like, should I go back individual? Like, a couple other, like, spots and places where they were kind of feeling out feelers and such. And that was definitely a main thing for me, because I know that training with another team when you're leading up to events like this is only going to make you better, faster, push harder, be able to, like, kind of see tricks and things that they're doing, or they'll maybe able to see and vibe off you too. And like, when you guys kind of combine together, you can obviously, like, pick the best game plan that way. And if it works for one team, not necessarily for the other, but you can still kind of, like, have eyes on, it's definitely gonna make both teams in the end a lot stronger, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
You've been to the regionals in the past 5 times. When did you, like, start this thing? When did you start CrossFit?
So I started CrossFit right after I tore my ACL. Not right after, but
in rugby, right? In rugby.
Yeah. Yep, playing rugby. I would say like 6 months later found that. My first open was 2013. And then my second was 2014. And that's when I actually, like, got the bug for kind of competing. And from there then led through regionals, did a few years individual, and then did a few years team, and then flip-flop back to some individual stuff towards the end there. And then obviously knowing that it could qualify you as an individual and such, that was the main reason, kind of flipping back to the individual at the end there.
All right, so early you were talking about weaknesses and people filling weaknesses. Early in your career, what was, like, one of your biggest weaknesses, and how did you close that gap on that weakness?
Just gymnastics in general. The first regionals I went to was the year that they had strict handstand push-ups, the 10 legless rope climbs. It was a higher ring muscle up workout. I think it was like a version of Amanda. It had, like, pistols and hang cleans, or I don't know, it was something like that. It had a decent amount for that year, I would say. It had the 1 rep max hang snatch in it. Just gymnastics. Oh, it also had the, like, max distance handstand walk. I got 2 feet. Go me. But yeah, like, I mean, anything gymnastics was completely foreign to me growing up with ball sports. Like, kick up onto my hands, what? Like, oh yeah. And that was a weakness. I mean, kind of like leading all the way through for probably about 3 or 4 years. Obviously I focused on that a little bit more, but I was a strength athlete coming into CrossFit. I think I had a 350-pound back squat at the time. Just like straight Globo gym stuff. So I was a really strong athlete. I PR'd my hang snatch that year. The same year that I got 2 feet on my hand, I PR'd my hang snatch at 170. Like, on a good day now, like, I'd be lucky to hit that still. So I was strong back then, and I just kind of, like, fine-tuned and made stuff obviously work better so I could perform better throughout. But gymnastics was definitely the weak part with that. And I focused on just getting, like, good coaches that could lead me to the promised land of being where I'm at now, where I actually enjoy gymnastics almost as much as I enjoy barbell, if not even more.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, your muscle ups, your ring muscle ups particularly, are super impressive. What's your max set?
21.
21.
Can you do something for me?
You knew that was coming.
Yeah, I was waiting. I was like, I'd pause.
Listen. Let's jump off the CrossFit train for a second. I've talked to Christian about this a little bit, but, like, when is 21 too many 21s? Like,
20.
how many times can you say it in a freaking song?
21
Not
times.
Not enough. Not if 21's on the song either.
What's the one? Is it DJ Khaled that, like, starts all of his songs a certain way? Doesn't he start his songs by saying his name too? Something like that?
Yeah.
Usually.
Like,
DJ Khaled, We the Best.
Oh,
all
we
that
the
stuff.
best music or something like that. No.
We the best music.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All that stuff.
How do you feel about it, Brooke? Do
You
you?
gotta have an intro.
Yeah, but like 21 is throughout the whole song on repeat 100 times.
I mean, it's kind of mindless music for me. I like if there's like a good beat, I don't really listen to the lyrics, especially when I'm working out. Like I zone out, but if there's like a good beat that like gets me pumped up for the first, I don't know, 30 seconds, then I'm good. Just like keep it on and then I'll hear it again when I'm done.
Did you know Christian was a rapper?
I knew he dabbled a little bit in it. Yeah.
Do you know what his name was?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Christian. Tell her your name.
Well, when I first started, it was Crisco, and then I dropped it and just started going by my government name.
My government name.
My government.
So if you ever want to talk shit in the middle of a workout, just start calling Christian Crisco. Okay.
Christian Crisco. Yeah. All right. I'll have to do that. You might have to get it on tape. I'll be like, don't know. I gotta hold my trash talk in because I don't know.
You gotta save it. You gotta save it.
When your team is advancing to like the next section of a workout and Christian's still behind, you gotta be like, "Come on, Crisco, keep on up, Crisco, come on."
I don't know if I want to do that, but I might fuel the beast. He's the one in front of the worm, so everybody else got to get dragged along with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the worm, you're in the middle or the back spot?
I'm normally in the back. We've switched a little bit back and forth just kind of to let KB feel it out. She's obviously a strong athlete too. So it's kind of dependent, I think, right now based on the workout. There's like a lot of communication that needs to be happening. I think I'm going to have to be towards the back of the worm just so I can kind of keep an eye on everyone. In case stuff does start to fall apart, I'm not in the middle like, hey, like what's going on back there? Because I'm kind of the cadence counter and rep counter for everybody. And then on mindless workouts kind of where we just are like, yep, we're going to do it all unbroken, or it's only X amount of reps. Like her and I will just switch back and forth kind of dependent on that, which is nice. Normally like you're like set to a specific spot. I think having the ability to be a little bit diverse and flop back and forth will help us this year. Because the back of the worm definitely eats you alive a little bit differently than the middle of the worm.
Yeah. You all have two really strong individual athletes with K Best and Joey P. How's that been for you and Dex as like more seasoned team athletes to kind of show them the way per se of just it's a different game, you know, it's a whole different game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of a learning curve. Like we knew that was going to happen coming into this. Especially with like Christine really only doing individual stuff and at that highest level. Joey's young, like he yes mom, yes ma'am. He started saying yes sir, like you know, when I count out reps, like he's like whatever it is, just yes, I'll do it, I don't care. And then at the end we all come together, kind of give each other a little feedback, or they'll look at me with like a terrified look in their eyes, like I can't do that many reps, and then we have to kind of adjust from there. And that happens with any team when they're brand new. I think the thing for me is having the confidence that they have the ability to do that. And I think Dex, same thing. Like he's fully confident in them as athletes to be able to, go into the fire with us. I mean, as a team athlete, that's really all you're ever really asked. Like, hey, when we're in our fourth round, are you gonna drop the worm and have it collapse on the rest of your team, or are you gonna like suck it up? Like physically, absolutely. Like most people get to a point you kind of know. Like most people are gonna be able to say like, no, there's like no physical way that we're all gonna be able to do 30 touch and go clean and jerks. Like, but when there's 30, can we go 10 10 10 without dropping on that last third set? Having that confidence in them. And I think seeing them as individual athletes through the open, and then obviously I've known Christine for quite some time and have seen her compete and competed against her, so I know she has that switch too. So I think Dex and I are both on the same page of just like our confidence level in them.
What would you say to an individual athlete that is maybe looking to at some point make a transition to the team side of things? Maybe a couple of little pointers that would help them to transition over to the team side of things.
I think some of the main things are to be a little selfless. especially if you've done individual for a really long time, like that is a very, I mean, I'm not saying it's a selfish sport, but like it's all about you. It's about your routine, your warm up, your time, your schedule, all of that. So you're going to be giving up quite a bit of that when you go on to a team, because not everybody's schedule is meshed. Like not everybody warms up the same. You're going to be waiting a little bit differently. There's a lot more communication. If you're used to just like turning off and working out, like in your zone and in all of that, like that gets taken away when you're on a team. There's 3 other people in there with you, and not to mention, you know, other coaches and other people giving you advice. There's going to be a lot of adversity that you'll have to come through that maybe as an individual athlete you didn't have to. Just again, like different movements, maybe you're not as good at something and it frustrates you because you know you're a better athlete than that. Well, the worm can change people. You either like the worm or you don't like the worm initially, and you kind of just got to go through some growing pains with it. So expect to face adversity, and like I hope as an individual athlete that you already like embrace that and want that to happen. But if you don't, like have an honest conversation with yourself before you commit to other people, because these people also are committing to you. That would be like my number one piece of advice, probably.
Cool. Love it.
All right, let's I always like to keep hopping off the CrossFit train. Outside of CrossFit down in Jacksonville, what are you doing besides slinging a barbell?
So I own a personal training studio and I work at a CrossFit affiliate down there, CrossFit Total Control. And so that's like my work life. I do a lot of that. I hang out with a lot of my members. A lot of them are my friends as well. And living at a beach town, we do a lot of beach cruising. A lot of our friends have large boats, so we go to sandbars. We do a lot of fun stuff with that. Deep sea fishing. We're always outside. Like, you live in Florida and you aren't outside, you're not taking advantage, and why are you living in Florida, kind of. Pickleball is a big thing in Florida. I haven't gotten into that. Have you guys done this sport called pickleball?
I just played last weekend for the first time.
Okay. Are you big into it?
I mean, considering the fact that I dominated, I am now.
I'm like, my friends are like, come play. They play like every Tuesday and Thursday night. They're like, come play when you get done with work. There's like a group of 30 of us from the gym. That's all in this big like group text message. They all go, and these 70-year-olds like whoop their ass. Like, I think I can swear on this, right? Whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let it rip.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I like would probably go through 6 rackets my first game, just like breaking it over my knee. If like this like geriatric 7-year-old was just whooping me. I mean, I go to swimming and these people lap me already and I get upset about that. So I'm like, I really don't need to add another sport to my like resume of just having myself. I mean, it's great. Like I said, get out there, try new sports, like learn new sports. That's definitely CrossFit. I don't know if I can do it by getting beat by people that are double my age. So I might leave it to them, but that's also another, it might be a thing that I might add. I don't know. We'll see. But other than that, yeah, just be outside all the time.
Do you have any profile pictures with you holding a fish?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I got a big tuna. We went to Curacao for my bachelorette. Got a big tuna. Got some little fish. We got wahoo. I got a bunch of fish pictures.
Christian, do you like fishing? Yes or no? Can you hear me?
I heard you.
He's like, nah.
Yeah, I never got into it.
No.
Me neither. I can't. I don't have like the patience to just sit there, you know.
I grew up in Minnesota, and my dad was an avid fisherman. We'd like, ice fishing is a big thing up in Minnesota. I never did that, but on a boat and stuff, yeah, walleye and all that. So I grew up fishing. Deep sea fishing is definitely more fun than I think lake fishing or anything. Like the sport is just more interesting, and the fish are cooler, and obviously they taste a little bit better. So
deep sea fishing. What exactly is that?
So you usually go out. Depends on where like the shelf falls off, kind of in the ocean. You could go anywhere from like down south. You could only go like 10 miles out and you'll hit the shelf. So you'll be deep. Whereas like Jacksonville, most of them, I think they got to take almost an hour boat ride out. to hit that like ledge where it falls off, so you can get the deeper you go, the better the fish sometimes. I'm not like an angler, don't call me that at all, but I would say that I think if you go a little bit further off, the more interesting fish you get and a little bit larger, I think.
Huh. And there you have it.
There you go. If you guys want any other fishing tips, follow me, Brooke to Hook, on Instagram. Go back, I don't know, a little ways, and you'll see me holding some fish.
Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely doing that. Maybe on the MFLH gram, Christian,
we can pop that up.
Yeah, maybe for like all 8 team members, I'll scroll back like 10 years to try to find the most embarrassing post possible. And I'll do like a highlight carousel of the 8 most embarrassing posts by you guys.
Oh gosh.
Love it.
Man.
Don't let me forget that. That's a good one.
Oh.
Let's put Brooke on the hot seat. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Brooke. Couple of quick questions. Give me the first thing that comes to mind. Then you can get on with your training for today.
All right.
All right. Would you rather move fast or lift heavy?
Lift heavy.
Coffee or pre-workout?
Coffee.
Current favorite sneaker?
The Nano X3.
For the fisherwoman, salmon or tuna?
Salmon.
Favorite brunch food?
Ooh, breakfast tacos.
Power or squat?
Squat.
EMOM or AMRAP?
EMOM.
If you had to choose one movement for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ring muscle ups.
All right. You survived the hot seat.
Oh, that wasn't that bad. I was like, don't ask me what any math questions. Don't do it. Oh, no.
All right, Brooke. Christian, that's it, right? I think that was a good getting to know you sesh.
Definitely.
Okay, here's my last question. Brooke, what's one thing about Christian that you've always wondered but haven't asked? Christian, what's one thing about Brooke that you've always wondered but never asked?
Who goes first?
Pick a number 1 or 2, Christian.
2.
You're going first.
Oh.
All right. Brooke.
Oh, no.
How did you get into rugby? It's not a very common sport. So how did you get into it?
I got too many red cards playing intramural soccer. They were like, you should go try this rugby league. And I did.
All right.
I was never let back at BASL in Florida ever again. Too many red cards.
How many years did you play?
When you're playing against guys, like, listen, they just got to suck it up.
How many years did you play?
Rugby?
Yeah.
2009 to 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, so quite some time. I played on a women's league to start with, and then started getting into like the more serious side of it, doing some sevens, got recruited by the All-South team, and then some Olympic trial stuff right before I tore my ACL.
Brooke is a bad bee. I'm telling you.
I see some pictures pop up. I'm like, I might have to come back. I don't know. They got old girl leagues. Question for you that I guess what don't I know too much? What other sport would you be doing right now if you didn't do CrossFit?
Like right now. Ooh. I think I would like to get into jiu-jitsu. It's something that the guy that got me into CrossFit, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's always showed me a couple of moves here and there. And I just found it to be a pretty interesting sport and a functional sport, just in terms of like self-defense and things like that. And it's something I respect. And when I see people doing jujitsu and participating in it, I want to kind of jump in, but also with doing CrossFit, I don't want to risk being injured. So when
Right.
I am done competing, I would like to dabble in jujitsu a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
With that, one last thing. What would your card name be or your call name be if you were to like get called out? You know, like when wrestlers get announced to the stage. What would you want your call name to be?
Daddy Shark.
Daddy Shark.
Christian Daddy Shark Harris.
And what's your walkout song? What are you walking out to?
Ooh. I mean, we could just go with that Drake and 21 song.
Okay.
Is there gonna be
for right now anyway?
Wait, it's a good question. Brooke, what's your name? What's your nickname?
Oh. Gosh, I think I would have to stay with something with like my Viking heritage. So it'd have to be like the Hammer or something like that, you know?
Oh yeah.
The Hammer.
And then what's your call out song? What's your song?
Well, I dressed up as Hulk Hogan one year, so probably the exact same one as him.
Right.
I am American. Like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anybody that hasn't seen it, go ahead, take a look on my Instagram, Brooke the Hook. Shout out again. I'm on there as Hulk Hogan. I look like I could definitely be him or a relative.
All right, cool. Fair enough. All right.
What up, Corey?
Corey says, "What's up over here?" Throwing those flame emojis at us on the YouTube.
Fire.
All right, Brooke. Thanks for joining us, and good luck with quarterfinals coming up. Go ahead and if you're kicking Christian's ass at any point, remember Crisco. That's the code name to be.
Crisco, I got it.
To be chanting. All right. Talk to you later.
All right, bye. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Bye. All right, there we go. Brooke the Hook.
That's her.
Brookie.
She's a bad bee.
Brookie. Get you that chocolate chip Brookie. What's a Brookie? That's a thing, isn't it? It's like half
brownie,
cookie, half brownie.
Cookie. Yeah. That's a real life thing.
Gonna have to get me some when I come back to New York. When I go up to New York next week, my first stop is Donut Plant for some carrot cake donut.
Ooh.
Gotta have it. Donut Plant. Don't sleep on it.
I think after quarters, we're gonna do a pizza party at my house.
A pizza party? You gonna make it?
No. No. I don't have the pizza. I don't have a pizza oven.
You don't have a fancy ass pizza oven in your backyard with that nice bar of yours in the backyard?
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Well, for all of Christian's followers, if you want to come to the party, his address is. Sorry, my microphone went out. All right, cool, man. Looking forward to it. Next week, I'm looking forward to that 40-minute EMOM I saw on the program. We're going to talk about EMOMs next week, or we're going to talk about them later today. When are we going to talk about these EMOMs?
We'll figure it out. But yeah, next topic of discussion will be EMOMs. For sure.
All day, every day. If you haven't yet tried it out, go to movefastliftheavy.com or MFLHtrain.com to try Christian's exact programming, train with CH. Or if you're like, you know what, F this open, F this quarterfinal, F this season for now, hop on the pump train, pump with CH. Got some Metcons at the end as well to still scratch that itch. Anything to say on that, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in the midst of a new cycle. We're following some principles of German volume training. And the beauty of it is that you can pretty much jump into it at any time. And it's a very linear progression. It is a lot of bang for your buck. Typically, the way it works is you do a set of 10 sets of 10 of a particular movements that are going to give you the most bang for your buck. So think of compound lifts, and we're hitting that 3 times a week. Tuesdays and Saturdays are more of what we traditionally do on the pump program. If you want to find out more, head over to MFLHtrain.com. Pump with CH.
Look at this piece of beef. If you're on the YouTube, hit us up. Go to YouTube, Move Fast Lift Heavy. This piece of meat here in the middle of this screen. Who's that guy?
Look at all swollen.
How do you get swollen like that? Like how much you eating? How many grams of protein you eat in a day, bro?
Gotta eat at least your body weight in protein. For those that are trying to bulk, that'll definitely go up quite a bit. But
my kidneys won't be able to process all that protein.
That's baloney. That's baloney.
But my doctor, who's 50 pounds overweight, that's what he said.
That's malarkey. Yeah, you're gonna need to get that in at least, I would say, 4 meals a day. So like for me, being 205, 210, most of my meals are around the 45 to 55 range for protein. And in terms of carbohydrates right now, just because of the volume that I'm putting in on a daily basis, typically my post-workout meal is around 150 carbs, and all of the subsequent meals are around 60 to 70 carbs. So we're putting in a lot of cows.
When we hook up with Hav, we got to get like a day in the life eating. I know everyone wants to have like a play-by-play.
Definitely. Would love to do that.
We're going to do that.
Get some recipes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you got your Creatures of Habit hat on there. You can promo them for the morning.
That'll be a banger of an episode.
All right, can't wait. Tell good old Mikey boy if he wants to collab on producing it, he can hook it up.
Yes, sir.
Where is that guy at? I mean, get this guy on the podcast. What the heck?
Mike, if you're listening, let's go. Let's set it up.
He's not. He's talking into a mic somewhere.
Let's set it up.
Posting some short Instagram reel influencer video. All right. Bye.
See ya.